Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be breaking down the 8th episode of Season 3 of The Bad Batch, titled Bad Territory. This was such a fun episode, and there's a lot going on, especially towards the end, and I can't wait to get into it. But before we get started, look down below. We are so close to 1,000 subs. I say this every video, but I cannot believe people actually are clicking on my videos and watching them, let alone subscribing and liking. It just means so much to me. So if you're new to this channel, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Join our tight-knit community. We love talking about everything Star Wars, Marvel, and pop culture. With that out of the way, let's break down and review the 8th episode of The Bad Batch Season 3. We start this episode off with Omega kind of self-reflecting on how many people have gotten hurt because of the Empire going after her. Hunter and the gang are looking out for more information on what the M count is, and there's an incoming transmission from V. V is a character that we've seen in other seasons of The Bad Batch, and she gives information on a bounty hunter. It looks like some elite Class 1 bounty hunters are being hired by the Empire like they were in Empire Strikes Back to find Force-sensitive Omega. They've been retrieving M-count subjects for the Empire, and Omega is number 1 on that list. The Bad Batch needs more information, and V suggests that they reach out to bounty hunter Fennec Stand. Last we saw Fennec Stand, she was actually hired by Nala Se to find and capture and bring Omega back to her. So her and the Bad Batch aren't on the best of terms, but she's not necessarily evil. With the help of V, they track down Fennec Stand, and she's on this giant space station that is kind of reminiscent of Coruscant, the underground area with all of the bars. Fennec Stand is willing to give up this information on the M count and what it means, but in order to do that, they have to do something for her first. In typical Bad Batch episode fashion, where it's like a side quest of a side quest. But this one's good because honestly, I just love seeing Fennec Shand. It's an absolute treat every time we get to see Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shand, and this episode is no exception. Fennec wants the Bad Batch to help her track down her bounty, which is on a planet that is essentially Louisiana. Swampy, smelly, full of gators. I mean, you get the point. Meanwhile, back on Pabu with Crosshair and Omega, we see that Crosshair's hand is still shaking and that it might be something from the experiments done to him on Tantus. Maybe not something just physical, but mental as well. Omega reveals that she learned to meditate through Gungi, the Force-sensitive Wookiee or Wookiee Jedi from the Bad Batch Season 2, leading us to believe even more so that Omega is Force sensitive and that she's going to tap into these Force powers, teaching Crosshair how to meditate and hopefully heal his hand. I really dug this episode because we do a lot with Omega and Crosshair, but we also have the quest with the Bad Batch hunting down with Fennec Shand. And I really do enjoy the hints of Omega being completely Force sensitive. After hunting down some space alligators, they finally find the bounty that Fennec Shand was working for and they capture him. Once again, in typical bounty hunter fashion, Fennec Shand is like, yeah, I was gonna tell you, but actually it'll come in due time. And while Fennec is a bounty hunter, the Bad Batch does trust her to an extent, allowing her to leave and complete her bounty and trusting the fact that they are going to get the information that they were hired for. This episode ends on a cliffhanger. Fennec Shand is speaking to someone via hologram, and we don't know who this person is. We don't see their face or hear their actual voice. Fennec tells this person that the Bad Batch is interested in the M-count experiments going on with the Empire, and I think I know who this person is. Some people are saying this is Boba Fett, but I don't necessarily think it's Boba Fett because the first time Fennec meets Boba is in The Mandalorian. Other people are saying it's Cad Bane, and I also don't think this is true because of the fact that these two are always going at it on opposite sides. I don't know why they would work together all of a sudden, which ultimately leads me to believe that the person on the other line of this call is none other than Asajj Ventress. Ventress was heavily advertised in the first official trailer for the Bad Batch's final season, and it only makes sense that now that we're over halfway done with this season, she'd show up. I'm very interested in seeing how they bring Ventress back. We know she's going to be in the show via the trailer, but in regards to how they implement her in the show, it's still yet to be seen. More importantly, I'm wondering if they're going to retcon the book Dark Disciple, which goes into the ending of Asajj Ventress's life. Are they going to retcon it? Are they going to change what happens in the book with her ending? Only time will tell, but I have a feeling that they're going to do justice by it. What has Ventress been doing all of these years? Are the book events from Dark Disciple canon and something else happens at the end? And is Ventress masquerading as a bounty hunter for the time being without using the Force, or is she just an undercover free agent Jedi character? Not Jedi, but Force wielder with a lightsaber. In the book, her relationship with Quinlan Vos is extremely important, and after the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, we know that Quinlan Vos is still alive. So I'm very intrigued as to how they take this story and where they go with her character. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, not only of what you thought with this episode, but where you think this is going to go next. I read every single comment. I most likely will respond. Let's get us to 1,000 subs, and I will see you all very, very soon.